Hi, sweet stampin' friends. Debra Harrison here with Simply Sweet and Ink Designs. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. As you hop on, say hello. Let me know who is on here to craft with me today. If you stop by and watch the replay, welcome. Let me know that you stopped by. I just noticed my husband pulled in, so he may come to the front door and I may get a little distracted, but we'll work through it. And in fact, today I kind of changed the setup of my crafting space for today's live. And so you know how that works. It's kind of like reorganizing your craft room. It seems like a really great idea when you do it, like you're going to, everything's so well organized, but then you can't find anything. So hopefully I don't get too disoriented today with my new setup, but we're going to have fun and we're going to do some crafting. Actually, that's my husband coming in right now. I'm going to go through it. We're going to work through it. All right. So we're working with the Sweetest Cherries bundle. And so let me show you what that looks like. That has the stamp set and the punch. And you're probably thinking, okay, we're just going to use it to make really cute cherry projects. But actually, I was playing with it for the August Sweet Creations Club. And I designed some really cute cards using making other fruits. So I wanted to share that with you before we get into today's project. This is actually a sneak peek for you of the August Sweet Creations Club with the Sweetest Cherries bundle. And it's going to make 5 projects. One of them will be this really cute card box. And then inside you will be making 4 cards. Now, obviously, we're going to use the cherries because that's what the main design of that bundle is. So that's what one of the cards looks like. But look, we can also use it to make apples and oranges. I love this one. This is probably my favorite. And then peaches as well. So a lot of variety with this bundle that I wanted to share with you in that Sweet Creations Club kit. This box will actually hold up to about 6 cards and 6 envelopes. So if you wanted to make more and make a really fun gift card kit for somebody, that would be a really sweet thing to do. All right, so this is the project that we're going to make today because after designing those other cards, I was like, these kind of look like plums as well. So we're going to make this really simple plum card today. And if you were on my email newsletter, you know that I have the instructions for the project sheet for this week's project that I will be emailing to you tomorrow afternoon. So if you're not on my email list, go look down in the post. There is a link to sign up for my email list so you don't miss any of my weekly project sheets or my promotions or any of the events that I have coming up. So, all right, let's get into the project today. Hi, I see several of you hopping on. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're here with me. All right, so like I said, we're using that Sweetest Cherries bundle, but we're going to use a plum instead. So we're using one of my favorite new die sets, and that is called the Deckled Rectangle Dies. I love how it creates this really fun kind of torn edge look, but without me having to do all the tearing. So that's what we're going to be using that today as well. So we're going to start off with this off to the side so I have my measurements. We're going to start off with a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock. And so this measures 5 3/4 by 5 1/2. And what we're going to do is we are going to, I kind of have it the wrong way. We're going to score at 4 1/4. Now, after I printed all my directions, I got to thinking it would have been way easier just to make this 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, which you can totally do. And then just make sure that you score at 4 1/4 to create your card base. So as I said, what I did is we're going to fold at that 4 1/4 part. And so we have just a partial card. This is just if you just want to kind of mix up your cards, do something like a really simple fun fold, this is a way that you can do it without a lot of extra effort. And so we're going to start from the inside so that I make sure and I wrap around my ribbon before I do the outside. So on the inside, we are going to do some stamping. So I'm going to take, it would be the cherry, but it's going to be plum for us today. We're going to use Highland Heather ink and Blackberry Bliss. Oh, you know what? It's not Blackberry Bliss. I wanted to use Rich Razzleberry. Let's see. Where's my Rich Razzleberry? There we go. Swap that out. Sorry about that, guys. Not Blackberry Bliss. It's Rich Razzleberry. I liked this one, had a little more of the red that I was wanting for my plum. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to stamp in Highland Heather ink for the full image. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the rich razzleberry and we're going to dab a little bit of that darker color with our sponge dauber. And so I'm just going to dab along the edge here. And then I'm going to kind of lightly go back in as it gets lighter. And I'm going to just stamp, see if y'all can see that right here in the corner. And so that's going to kind of give us a little bit of a two-tone look. We've got the Highland Heather, and then we have a little bit of the darker from the rich razzleberry. And so that's a really fun way to give your project a little bit of dimension, especially when you're working with fruits like the plum or the peach. That's a great way to do that. All right, so then now I want to take my early espresso ink, and I'm going to stamp a stem. Now, we can stamp our stem, we can make it green, but I'm going to make it in the brown because I like the contrast. Now, because plums don't have quite as long of a stem as the cherries do, I'm only going to partially ink up my little stem here. And then I'm just going to add it right there. And then we're going to use Granny Apple Green. Now, if you want, you could also use our new in color, the Parakeet Party. And you could use that as well. And then I'm going to stamp my leaf here. And that is the inside of the card. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to add that inside real quick. Now, if you noticed, I went ahead and I cut out a deckled rectangle die. This was actually the second largest in that set. And so instead of just using a regular 4 by 5 1/4 layer inside my card, I thought we would mix it up and use one of the deckled rectangle dies to give us a little bit of a different look. All right, so now for the outside, what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of the Brights Designer Series paper. I believe this is the Gorgeous Grape, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm only going to adhere right here where it's going to connect onto my little panel here. So I don't want to get too much glue. I just want it on the inside here. And leave about 1/4 inch. And then I could use either side, but I'm going to use the striped side. And then we're going to glue it right there. You're just going to put it on, center it just like you normally would if it was a full card front. But the beauty of this is you also get to see the other side, really pretty side of the Designer Series paper. All right, now I'm going to wrap my ribbon around my card and tie it off on the side. Before I do all the decorating, just going to get that done. Now I am using, and it is kind of slinky, the white crinkle seam binding. Let's cut off that extra. I don't need all of that. All right. So we're going to have that, put that off to the side. Now we're going to do some stuff on the front of our card. And so I'm going to take another deckled rectangle, and I'm going to just take a strip of thick, basic white cardstock. Now, when you are working with this punch, because we're going to be using like the cherry and the different leaves, I don't want to waste a whole lot of cardstock. So I find if I use like a 1 3/4 inch strip, that works really well so that I'm only getting to the pieces that I need to punch without having to waste a bunch of my cardstock. So we're going to punch out, we're going to stamp and punch out 3 plums. Now I'm just going to show you 1 plum as a sample. But let me go on ahead and rinse off my stamp because I don't want some of that rich raspberry to get into my lighter color. So whenever you're doing this like two-tone stamping, you want to make sure that you stamp first in your lighter color and then dab in your darker color. Okay, so let's see, why do I feel? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stamp again, and we're going to ink up with our rich raspberry. And I'm going to stamp. And while I have this out, I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, where's my stem? I'm going to do my stem. Actually, I'm going to put my stem down here. And then I'm going to do my leaf. Now, these are just samples of what I'm doing. Now, when you're working with the leaf, I like to kind of angle it because that's kind of how it is on the punch. And then that way I can just kind of grab it from the side. And I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to push forward my lever to open my punch. And then I'm going to slide it in, line it up. Now you see how I just only need just that one section. I'm not going to be wasting a whole bunch of cardstock punching things I don't need. So we're going to punch out the plum. And then I'm going to cut that off. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to punch the leaf. You could do it at either angle, but again, that way I'm not wasting a whole bunch of my cardstock. And then we're going to do the last thing, which is our stem. Now, a lot of times what I'll do for the stem is I'll take maybe like a 1-inch piece and I'll do it like vertically and then just go up and punch them out that way, stamp them and punch them that way. All right, so that is all of the punching. I went on ahead and I had already punched out some and prepped some ahead of time so that you didn't have to see me stamp and punch all of them. So let's see, I need 3 stems, I need 3 plums, and I need 3 leaves. All right, so now we're gonna start doing some stamping. I've got that ready to go, but I wanna stamp my sentiments. So for my sentiments, I have from the stamp set, the Life is Sweet. So let's stamp the sweet. I want to do that one first, and that one's going to be in Granny Apple Green. So I like to start with this one first so that I can get proper placement for my other sentiments. So I'm going to come in here with the Granny Apple Green, stamp at an angle. And then that will let me know where to stamp everything else. So with the black Memento ink pad, I'm going to do the rest of my stamping. Let's see, we have, oh, I feel like I'm missing a stamp. Maybe it's still in here. Let's see. Life is, where is my other stamp? That's not good. Let's see, Life is with you in it. All right. Yep, I forgot to add it. Sorry, guys. Let me get a stamp thing here real quick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the Life is. I'm going to stamp that at an angle above the sweet. And then we're going to take the other part that says with you in it. And we're going to stamp that down here in the corner. And then all our plums are just going to go in between. Really simple. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to start building all of our stuff here. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here on the back. Add my little stem. I'm going ahead and glue that on. Let's see, put that kind of at an angle here. And I glue on my leaf. And we're just going to keep building up our plums here. Add another one. I'm going to check comments while I'm doing this. Hi, guys. Several of you are on. Thank you, guys. I love that you're crafting with me. How many of you already have this Sweet Cherries bundle? I know it's been a really popular one. And it's really economical, too. That's what I like about it. It's like, what, $33 or something for the punch and the stamp set? It's a really awesome deal, and you can get so much variety out of it with the different fruits. Okay, let's do this. That there. And then I have one more. Okay, for the last one, what I'm going to do for this one is I am going to pop it up with dimensionals. So I'm going to take my plum, my last one here. And for this one, though, because this is such a thin stem, I'm not going to try to pop it up with dimensionals. I'm just going to keep it flat underneath. Just kind of tuck it under there. Let it come out. And then, oh, you do, Donna? Yeah? Awesome. Let's see. Let's pop our leaf up with a dimensional. And that's going to go at an angle here. So now here is the front. We built up that layer. And so now we're going to use dimensionals to pop up the entire rectangle. Now you can use as many of these dimensionals as you want. You can tell I like to use dimensionals. I go through dimensionals so much, but I love them. I love the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals specifically. They're just the right height without being too much. All right, so then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pop that up in the center of our card. And that card is done. Do y'all like this card? Do y'all like the different varieties of things that you can do with it? So do want to let you know before I take off today, I had shared with you earlier, if you missed it, you didn't see it, I did share all the different ways, different fruits that you can make with this bundle. And it's actually going to be the focus of my August Sweet Creations Club to use this bundle in different ways to make different fruits. So if you didn't see that, go back, watch the replay, and you can catch that at the beginning. My registration for my August Sweet Creations Club is open right now. It will remain open until August 5th. So you can either subscribe monthly, join the club, and earn club perks. Or if you want to just try it out for a month, still go to the link. You can check it out. And then if you want just to do the 1 month non-subscription kit, just to try out what a club kit looks like, you're welcome to do that as well. Also, too, my Sweet Songbirds Retreat in a Box, that is open right now till July 15th. And this was a really fun project kit that I designed with two of my good Stampin' Up! Demonstrator friends, Heather Guerrero and Lisa Cunningham. And so go check that out and sign up by July 15th. Those retreat boxes will go out by July 31st. And then Sunday is actually the last day to sign up for my holiday paper and ribbon share. And I will ship those out by July 20th. So if you want to try out the new holiday papers and the ribbons, go on ahead and sign up for that. It's a really great way to have a lot of sampling of those things to play with. All right, guys, thank y'all so much. I love that y'all are on here with me. And don't forget, guys, we are in celebration for July and August. This is a wonderful time to shop. For every $50 or $100 that you spend in my online store, you will get a free celebration item from Stampin' Up! We've got a new holiday catalog. We also too have an annual catalog that came out just the other month. Great time to shop and get some freebies with it. So guys, take care. We will see you next Friday. Have fun. Have a great weekend.